Alright, looks like we got the systems up and running. Just gotta make sure the streaming quality is good and then we'll get started here. Everything's good on Twitch. And everything's good on YouTube. Perfect. Cool. Alright, so we're just working on finishing the script for the VTuber Tiny Game Jam 2025 recap video, which just recaps my experience in the Game Jam and how the project went. We wrote days 1 through 7. If I'm looking at the YouTube playlist or the original project, or not original project, but the streams, can I show that here? That looks like it's not working. Yep, that's just not working. Okay, well, bear with me. If I just turn this off, turn this on, there we go. We're currently at recapping day 8 through day 10, which are the last couple days of the Game Jam. So let me just get a quick read on how we wrote day 7, and we'll just go from there. Remember the AI day 2 for night shift. We'll toss out the window. We have a new AI with no flaws. The ragdoll bug. Da 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 da. Added the coffee shop building. Added lights. Coffee machine UI. This image captures skill times. Alright, so now we just gotta do day 8. We can just... Whoa. Do that. Okay. This needs to be changed to day 8. And then let's start going through the footage a little bit and see what we did for day 8. We'll just kind of skim through it a little bit. I think we tested the... Oh, we added the dialogue box. Yeah, there we go. Let's add that to the script. Let's make this how do we want to write this? When dealing with customers with specific demands for their orders, it'd be great if they had a way to communicate those demands. So I gave them a comic book style speech bubble with 3 ingredients they will need for their order. Order. That. How long did that take me to implement? Okay, so that just straight up didn't work. Oh, what the hell is that? I think I was still trying to test out the coffee color mechanic. So if I go to about here, okay, so I actually wasted the first 30 minutes of the stream trying to make the coffee cups still a thing. Do I even mention that? I don't think I do. Offer high to low tip based on the accuracy, such as simple constant, utilizing unrelentless energy stress, and notable issues that will come to haunt me during the flight. Yep. Once it's set up, rapid fire. Yeah, no, I didn't mention it. Well, best not to get stuck on it then. It's also funny seeing my original VTuber model. Now that I'm looking at it, like, it's just flat color apron, flat color shirt, gray eyes. I don't even know what I was thinking with the gray eyes thing. When do I actually implement the comment bubble? What am I doing here, actually? Yeah, let's give myself a listen. Give order. Give order. So first we'll test that. Oh, so we're implementing us giving the drink to the customer. Maybe it would be easier if I did a sphere trace, just so I can see that it's working, actually. So drop this for a second. Sphere trace by channel. It's not a bad idea, but there's definitely better ways to do that. Compile save. And it's not showing. Oh, because I didn't do the... I was going to say, I don't think I did the for duration visibility thing. No, it's just not working now. I bet you it's because I didn't actually hook up the widgets connection to the player correctly. I mean, visually it looks like it's at the bottom, but it is a completely counter, it looks like. Is it in begin play? No. I'm just pulling the camera component. Well, I guess we could write about that real quick. Just say, like, also worked on giving the player the ability to actually hand the drink to the customer, which didn't take any time at all, because as an amateur, how do you spell amateur? That's how you spell amateur. Wow, that's strange looking. Programmer, this is balance play. In the script, I mean. No, it's not in begin play. I think the music might be too loud. It's just a default component of the character. There we go. Never mind. Okay. Didn't realize they were attached. Oh, okay, okay. Did I really spend so much time on this? Like, how do my other interfaces handle interactions with people, if they do? Oh my god, do I not understand? What? Clock out. Event graph. Why am I stuck on this so much? Oh, what am I doing? Ah, oh, come on. There we go. That works. I don't know why this is not working. And that's interesting. For now. Wait, why are you using... Oh my god, what am I doing? Okay, hold on. When this was plugged in down here, I was having the user interface tell the game mode to serve the drink. Why am I not just doing that with the player character? What was I thinking? Now what am I stuck on? Or am I still stuck on the same thing? Okay, we're gonna skip past this part. This is just really painful to watch now. What about this custom event? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, wait, go back. What was that? I put serve order in a function? Oh, wait, no, that's actually probably okay. Yeah, that's okay, actually. Never mind. I thought it was the construct script for some reason. Oh, wait, I didn't even make this work. That's my issue. Serve order. Oh, you can't be serious. Okay, so that does work. I wanna choke my past self out. How? We spent 40 minutes trying to implement serving a drink to a customer. It's so easy. Why are you like this? Me. I think the answer. We're gonna skim past this. I can't. What else did you work on today? What are you doing in here? So let's scale the socket to 0.25. What am I doing here? Let's see what that does. Almost. We're getting somewhere. Oh, I know what I'm trying to do. 0.1. I'm trying to make it to where when you serve the coffee cup, it makes the coffee cup visible in the customer's hands, but that never got implemented. What a waste of time. So we can just give the customer their order like this. Oh, so this is when I realized we just give them the customer the drink and not worry about it, huh? I'll save. Okay, so here's the issue with this. I think I mentioned it in the last writing stream. But this right here, what it's doing is just checking if the ingredient array contains a value. As long as it has that value, it'll be correct all the way through. Like, the check order function in the characters in the customer script is just the other thing we gotta do soon. It's just not well done. I also need to get rid of the fact that this is handling the spawning of the coffee. I think. Let's just go to the speech bubble. Let's try negative 100. Negative 250. Okay, so it's too big. Yeah, this took a long time, and it's just because... shit. Yeah, you got to talk about the... So, essentially, right here in this clip, or not this clip, here. In this clip, right? I am manually adjusting the text boxes. I didn't need to do that. There's literally ways around that stuff. You can use a border, you can use auto wrap text, you can... there's just so much. At least I understood what a vertical box was back then. That's not nothing. Anyway. We don't need to actually add anything here, it's just... We'll just talk about the implementations as they are. What else did I work on? Wonder why I stopped working on that project. It was so interesting. It has potential, and then you look at the horror. Oh god, what am I talking about? I'll make coffee the final word. The first word should always be another ingredient. So, god, this is so annoying. So, ingredient. When do I start talking about that project? Right here, so I can look at them while I type. Customer order. Why I was putting it on. I feel that though. I really feel that though. Like, I have another project that I've been putting off on Unreal because I remembered the junk I have to do with it too. What project was I talking about? Yeah, that's programming though. You go, man, I wonder why I stopped working on that project. It was so interesting. It has potential, and then you look at the horrors that you created when you left, and you're like, ah, yes, that was bad. So one of the potential answers to the question of what project was that is that I don't think this is the project I'm talking about, but 2 years prior to this Game Jam event, I was attempting to learn Unreal with someone, and we started working on a game idea that was way beyond the scope of our skills at the time. And we couldn't even get the basic movement mechanics properly implemented back then. But I don't think that's what I was talking about. And that project was just like a tank crew kind of game, co-op tank crew thing. The only other project I could think of is... Oh, you know what? I think I was talking about fleshing out the 8-hour game jam project to be a full game. I think that's what I was talking about. Which honestly, could probably do that now. If I dedicate like a month to it, could make it like a one map, like looping game, and then just put out map updates later on. But I currently don't have the drive to realize that project, because I kind of want to make sure that if I make it a full project, it's got a lot of features that I would want to know the features I want to implement, essentially. And right now, off the top of my head, it's just kind of like, I want to finish Ocean War, and then I want to work on Cafe des Armes. Then we'll think about what to do next. And we'll just mute that so we can just focus on getting the information we need for what we implemented. Oh, you know what we should talk about? The fact that the dialogue box always has coffee as the final ingredient. The first two ingredients are randomized by the customer, but all drinks are coffee. But since it's all coffee, coffee is always the final word. Pretty simple. Nothing crazy. There we go. I did not know how for loops works back then. Now that I know how for loops work, it's kind of like, man, I really did just make a lot of work for myself for no reason. Did I work on anything else, or is this like kind of just the gist of it, just working on the speech bubble all day? Coffee, coffee, coffee. Oh man, that's funny. Let's timestamp that. 1:47:48. 1:47:48. That's for editing Kaijucon. I'll figure that out later. I just love that the cow just became my testing customer. I should probably note that somewhere if I haven't already. Oh, I already did. Cool. I don't have to make a second joke about it then. Oh, and then it looks like I crashed Unreal at one point. Just skim through this. Oh, this is when I think this is when I introduced the AI spawning outside of the coffee shop and then running into the building to tell their order. Yep. We'll skip this and just say, I also made the customers now also spawn outside the shop. before running inside to shout their order at the player. Just like real life. Alright. I'm pretty sure this took me a while to implement too, because like I didn't do the collisions correctly on the house. I also tried to work with the behavior tree and I just wasn't very good at it. I kind of understand the basics of Unreal's behavior tree, but it's something that I still need to properly research and learn. Did I not implement anything else day 8? I feel like I should have gotten more done day 8. Yeah, not a whole lot getting done here. I think I was too busy working on fixing my sloppy code. Yep, that was it. Alright, we can move on to day 9 then. Truth be told, I should have worked on this script a little bit this week instead of saving it for the stream, but it's not a big deal because the script's almost done. Alright, what did we do for day 9? I remember I was panicking at this point because I was like, shoot, there's only 2 days left. The day shift level is barely functional and the night shift levels don't even exist. What am I gonna do? And it looks like I'm trying to address that here. Yep, actually implementing the gun. Did I even talk about the magic gun before this? Finish up 3D modeling at the start of the day, cook a bean and a cow. Import all these assets into Unreal Engine. Cup shop, tables, chairs, farm counter, Modeling and rigging assets, made a tip jar, magic gun. Okay, so I talked about modeling the magic gun, but I didn't actually implement it, so... Almost done. Done with the game jam. And the night shift. But the night shift level does not exist. Our magic gun doesn't even work. So I took the day to get all of that taken care of. Starting with making the magic gun an actual functional functional weapon. Wow, looking great. Skip over all of that. Man, I spent a lot of time doing this. Wait, what am I doing here? Explain yourself, me. We'll have it go to... Why are we working on the day shift stuff again? Somewhere over here. Just, oh, I hadn't actually decided the actual spawn point of it. We're skipping that. Then leave. Oh, I hadn't made the AI leave after getting their order. This. Right, test. Oh my god, I spent so much time on this. Nope. So that cast is failing. That's basically what we're learning here. Oh my god, I spent so much time on this. Good god. Wow. That was the whole stream. Well, part 1. Part 2, we don't know, but Jesus. But not before I took a little bit of time to polish up the interactions between the customer AI and the player. And then we'll do we'll add some editing notes here. Fine. Oh. That took 2 hours. That's okay though, because I did a follow-up stream after a quick meal break. Alright. Let's see what we did on part 2. Looks like we actually worked on the night shift. Oh, my whole computer. Take this out. Take this out. Yeah, so we started implementing the monsters. Enemies were the first priority. Oh my god. Yes. Oh, there's the beans! There's the beans! Oops, wrong one. Started by making the coffee beans and espresso bean. Singular. Enemies. These guys are pretty much zombies. Once they see the player, make a beeline to them to deal damage in melee range. Only differences between the two are size and speed. Espresso bean, obviously, being the smaller and faster of the two. Am I even trying to aggro them at this point? Is he bugged out? Oh shoot, that's right, there was a bug where when they spotted the player, they didn't know what to do anymore. Yeah, I don't remember what caused that, but I'm sure if I sit through the VODs, it'll be pretty interesting. We'll call this mouth. Ah, the vanilla beans. The stream froze. So... Oh, my connection was terrible. Right. Okay. Attack. Is this me testing him right here? I don't remember if I was using Unreal's AI perception component or if I was doing something. You know what? I was using the AI perception component. Vanilla bean, default class. Vanilla bean controller. Place to respond. Okay, is it gonna work? Oh, it shot itself. No! Oh, no! That's funny as hell. The next enemy type is the vanilla bean. It moves like a snake and shoots projectiles like not a snake. Always tries to keep its distance from the player. Its distance from the player. That's pretty straightforward. Whoa. I think there was one more. Did I not import the tree? Oh, this is when I made the cocoa bean tree. Okay. From there, added the cocoa tree, cocoa bean tree. When the player hits the interact key while facing these plants, they will receive a cocoa bean. It's just a simple harvesting mechanic, really. Wonder how much I struggled on this one. Duplicate, okay. Oh yeah, I also added the... I actually made the cocoa beans visible on the tree so the player can see how many they can get to. The player can even see how many cocoa beans are on the tree's branches as they pick them. Pretty neat. Did I do anything else? I feel like there's much more stuff that we did by this point. Oh, small break there. Oh, we added the cow. Yeah, the cow AI. I think we added the cow AI before the tree, but it doesn't matter. We can just say for a friendly NPC, I added the cow. You can milk it with the interact key or kill it. Or actually, let's say this. You can kill the cow for one bottle of milk, or use the interact key to harvest even more milk. The choice is always nice. What else did I work on? What about here? Interesting. What was that? Oh, that's the cocoa bean.
What's that coffee, that super expensive coffee bean where it passes through the intestines of an animal? You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't like that I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what that was about. Can I actually... Oh, when did I do the landscaping? Oh, shoot. Can I... Right about here? Ah. Oops. They need environment to exist in. So I used Unreal Engine's landscaping tools to make a small enclosed, let's call it natural space for the player and the NPCs to exist in. I even made sure to have grass and dirt. That's not notable. That is not notable at all. Let's see, what else did I do? I crashed Unreal. That's cool. What was that? Okay, some backup past me. You need to explain yourself. What is this? World. I've tried maple syrup Pepsi and for St. Patty's Day. I tried Guinness infused ice cream. That sounds awful. Flavored lip balm. There's mustard flavored Skittles? Oh god, what the hell?
Sorry, what?
Like that's just a thing he just shadow drops in his article is mustard flavor Skittles. What am I reading from? So what are his impressions of the s'mores ramen? Oh my god, that looks rancid. S'mores ramen? Hold on. I need to pull this image on the stream. Like this is so much to absorb visually. Oh god. What is that? What is that? Jesus, no. Okay. No, we're moving past this. What am I working on? To make the character models and just hand animate them.
Yeah, this is like a lot of work.
It's not, because like I could just throw together like a generic. Oh, this is when Awen showed me about the skin modifier. Also, you want to mirror set bisect X, okay? Am I just waiting for instructions at this point? Like what's going on? Okay. It fixes if you hit the oddities. Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know why Discord started asking, like, are you sure you want to move? Like, yeah, that's why I clicked the channel to move.
Come on. Bet you it's because some people like big stretch.
It's a very nice thing.
But I might. I see.
Well, when you sleep for night shift, so you
See.
stay for 5 years, kind of get.
Generate, okay. Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah. Pretty neat, huh, me? Must have taken care of. to work on a proper human model for the customers on day shift. Long time. One of the chatters in the stream. Human mailer. Took some time to walk me through his method of making human characters in Blender. You make a simple stick figure. Use the skin modifier. Back a second. Yep. Modifier to turn those 2D edges into 3D blocks. Then use the subdivision modifier to round out those edges. Voila! We now have a 3D stick figure to work with. Oh, I see. Interesting. That is pretty simple. Timestamp 239. There we go. That's for editing me. Drink some water. That is a dude now. Look at him, John. He's beautiful.
When I can see him.
Whenever that loads, right? Some of the background stuff in OBS to see if that fixes the issue for tomorrow's stream. So, symmetry X is by default. Make loose Mercury.
Has that.
And Control A. Okay, select the vertice. I am in edit mode. Vertice, Control A. Oh. Okay, hold on. It's kind of fun watching myself just be like, oh wow, this is so cool. And it's just like, it's so simple to me now. Increase the body character.
Know what I just said.
Negative.
So, hubris? It's spelt very funny.
Did I do anything else this day? Be at the bottom, so it works properly. Okay.
How is that not worth
So subsurface at the bottom. Oh, I see. There we go. Also, Alt-Z will set solid shading to semi-transparent.
Well, it's weird. You can't correct anything.
Not sure if that Alt-Z trick worked, but I do see that the subsurface is working properly, so that's good.
Not working.
For some reason, my graphics card is really sensitive about when I hit Alt-Z. Because I'll be... What am I doing here? Oh, I made the ground texture. We'll put it in our icon. And applied it to the landscape. Okay. Weight-based layer. Yep, and then I scattered trees across the landscape. Amount of ingredients a player can have when they start doing fresh save. And then we also just need to do human character models and animations. Anyway. Yeah, we'll just before we talk about the human modeling, we'll just very briefly insert, you know, scattered the trees. Scattered trees across the landscape. Like, give it a little more of a foresty vibe. Sure, we'll call it that. And that concludes the day 9 stream. And now we can talk about day 10. It's actually amazing how much I got done in day 9 compared to the other streams. Day 10. Cool. How did I start this stream? Right, just real quick, make sure Discord is being captured. I talk so quietly. Okay, so originally the stream was going to be later in the day. My audio is just really quiet. Here's the VTuber Tiny Gem page. We have 7 hours to finish. So, apologies for breaking schedule. We need to get this done. On that note, let's get started. Yep. 7 hours. And I did all my work in less than 6. Let's just kind of skim and see what I did. Ooh, we added some atmospheric fog. Yeah. It's also not doing anything. Nope. Pause the video. Pause the video. There we go. Alright, D10. When I started the stream, stream for day 10, I had 7 hours left to work on and submit the game. That definitely put a massive weight on my shoulders. So I did my best to lock in. Started by attempting to make the night shift level feel more like an actual night shift. Started by I added some fog, lowered the lighting, some fog, and dimmed the environmental lighting. To do that, to do this, comma. There we go. That was a little bit better. You know what? Since that's such a small thing that we did, take this out. I added some fog and dimmed the environmental lighting to make the night shift level feel more like it's actually taking place at night. Cow needed a walking animation, so I jumped back into Blender to do that by hand. I took notes from Minecraft's high quality cow animations to make something of similar appeal. Look at that, it's an idle animation now. Oh, don't tell me I animated the vanilla bean here. So, yep, that's what I did. To separate those kind of ideas. Vanilla bean also needed animation, so I gave it the slimiest animation I could think of. And then we need a timestamp for when we see it actually animated. Here we go. 10 real quick. Let's see if that helps us. Here we go. Okay, so frame 0 is that. Frame 5 will be... What am I doing? Not that. So, keyframe, apply. Oh, I didn't apply the original keyframe. Keyframe. Cool. Look at that. Do I ever show the proper slithering? Call it. Go to here. Bring this back down. So stop. What am I doing? Animating this in Unreal instead of Blender. We'll do this at frame 3. And we'll just this way. And God, that's awful. Oh shoot, I didn't even keep the original frame 0. Okay. Enemies needed animations as well. We got something. So I made the vanilla bean slither and the coffee beans bounce. Whoops. And yeah, that looks disgusting. Nothing complicated. Oh, wait, what? We're happy with that. Go back. Show me. Oh my god. 104.30. Gated. Little bit of time for each model. Shout out to Vanilla Bean for making me and chat uncomfortable. Oh man, I just had a cup of coffee and I'm still not waking up. Ugh. Might have stayed up too late last night. Yeah, that looks disgusting. Alright. Yeah, for the customer, I think I just threw it in Mixamo, so that wasn't a big deal. So we'll just say that right now. Didn't have confidence in my ability to animate the customers in time for the submission. So I exported the model to Mixamo, which automatically rigs your humanoid models so you can use the mocap animations in their vast library. In my case, I only used the idle and walk animations. With that done, I started making clothes for the humans so that each customer had a chance to look different. I even gave the player character a barista outfit matching my own, despite the fact that you will only see it during the main menu. Oops. And there it is. I wish I took time to learn Blender's painting tools before this game jam, because I could have done this so much faster. I could have done that so much faster. Yep, I think I spent like almost an hour just doing that too. For each customer. Oh, that's not true. You can actually see the barista during night shift. Matching my own. Since the night shift level was a third-person shooter, I think I made the right call. Oh, I actually took the idle rifle, and walk animations. So I implemented that. I made a crosshair. What else am I doing here? Oh, I added a HUD. The HUD for night shift was slapped together around this time as well, showing the player's health and ammo pool. Looks like I added sound effects around this time as well. Is that a gunshot sound? Shooting. Okay, that works. Oh, I didn't share my stream audio, so no one heard it. Well. Then pulled a gunshot sound from... Let me pull up the website where I got that from. I got the sound effect from Snake's Weapon Sounds on itch.io. Game assets. There we go. Snake's authentic gun sounds. Authentic gun sounds. Link in the description. And then for editing me, here's that link. And added it to the gun. A bit loud, but since the magic gun is basically a railgun, I figured it was appropriate. Apologies to those who play with bass boosted headphones. What we're gonna do is we're going to edit this to make it a little more intense. What else did I do in this stream? Trigger end of shifts by just touching the trigger one more time when they know they have no ammo left. Or they'll... Okay, so we also implemented how night shift ends, so... I also... Since I was already working on the magic gun, also made it to where also tied the end of the night shift to it. To it. If the player pulls the trigger while they have no ammo, the night shift will end. Better collect your loot before you pull that trigger again. Press it when they don't realize they have no ammo left. Either way, it's fine. Look at that. Problem solved. We're gonna get a death animation from Miximo and just use that. He's not a very good shot, but he's trying. Oh, okay. Simulate physics is not working. I don't know why I tried to implement a death animation. That was a silly choice. I mean, the shift also ends if you die. You know. Choose your own adventure or something. What else am I doing here? There's still so much, and yet so little to do. Why did I close the main menu widget? Oh, I hadn't even done the main menu. Oh my god. Main menu widget. The main menu also got added around this time. So for a new game, we want select, well, maybe confirm. We need to add, where is our character? Cafe controller, set show mouse cursor true on event begin play. Good, good. Good, good. What does it look like? I'm just trying to get a timestamp of what the menu looks like. God, that's so... Oh my god, it's so much. It's so much. I was packaging the project at this point. Okay, so where's the final menu design? Later. 2D assets. Oh my god. Show me. Come on, me. You're almost there. That's too far. There you go. Kind of. What am I doing? There we go. I settled on that? Okay. 40810. 0810. Here, you can start a new game or load one from your save slot. Pretty neat. Yeah. I think that's all I did before I packaged the project, huh? That looks like a menu to me.
That's reduced spell damage.
Okay, for some reason it's not changing the mode. Or did I do something wrong? Menu character. Oh, it's using cafe controller. I want it to use a different controller, I think. Right? Did I make another controller? Bro, that's not what your issue was. I genuinely can't remember. Default to edit main menu. With day shift. Do world override and do day shift mode. And then I need to go to night shift and do world override night shift mode, which I actually already did. Okay. I'm going to hit the restroom real quick. We will continue when I come. I didn't even use the be right back screen. I literally just... Okay.
I made a staff while you were away. You got your headphones on now?
Yeah, I didn't even take them off.
Made a staff.
Shoot, my brain. We need to change the save file to have some default values that are fine for I was so done at the end of this game jam. Every ingredient will start with 5 units. I'm glad I remembered this. The customers will ultimately decide what you need to hunt for at night. Okay. Let's build options.
The customer's always right. Or as Mr. Krabs said, the money is always right.
Okay, just as a quick test, I'm going to try and just export the project normally. And then if we have no issues, great. If we have issues, then we'll start looking up stuff. We're going to package it for Windows 64-bit. We'll save it in... Which crashed Unreal. Pretty sure. Oh man, my head hurts so much.
It hurts?
Mm-hmm. I'm probably gonna crash and take a nap when this is done. I did. After this stream, I literally called my parents and said, "Hey, it's done. Thank God. I feel horrible. I'm going to sleep." And I slept for like 4 hours, I think. Bell's Nest. We still need to do Code Vein. Yeah, I think at this point, John or Mini11 was just kind of chatting with me about stream ideas when I was literally the most mentally drained. Granted, I probably encouraged it. I enjoy conversations even if I'm not mentally prepared for them. With all that settled and my mental battery at an all-time low, exported the project and submitted it to the game jam. We'll call it that. Yeah, I did have some export issues, huh? Stuff. I'm sure whatever's there. Oh wait, am I playtesting? Oh, I spelled customer wrong. Okay, that makes sense. All right, compile, save, test play. Look at that, they have a shirt now. Okay. No more issues, please. I've had enough. Just fast forward. Game idea. Chocolate milk coffee. Oh, hello, Chandu16. What's your game idea? Hope it goes well for you. Well, we're done. It's just about doing final play testing so we can upload it to the competition page, as shown in the upper right. The premise is that you have limited ingredients to make coffee during the day, and then you get some tips. You end your shift, proceed to the night shift, and at night you hunt coffee monsters for ingredients that you can use the next day. Oh, that's so loud. I might need to turn that down. That espresso bean dropped milk. I sound so annoyed. That coffee bean dropped vanilla. Okay, so maybe we should make a little comment for the project, and found a rainforest of bugs. Some as small as the customer shirts, not changing, to as big as the enemies dropping the wrong ingredients. So I spent even more time cleaning up all the notable bugs. Exported the project and then submitted it to the game jam.
That's not good.
I think I just had the enumeration wrong. I think that's all it really was, right? Just making sure the drops are organized correctly. Item numbers based on item drop number. Okay. Go to the item parent. Coffee bean, vanilla bean, cocoa beans, espresso beans, milk. Okay. Go to the enemy blueprints. That's the issue. Yep, I said it's a 1 instead of 0. Oh, can't read. Hold on. Avnir, thank you for the follow. I think I said that wrong, but it's okay. My issue was, I gotta open up the enumeration for this to explain. So I made the number of the drop assigned to each enemy based on this enumeration. This enumeration is solely for the coffee generation system. Coffee beans should be 0 for the enemy. So I did not do a good job explaining that. Easy fix. Just really dumb mistake on my part. So we'll just go through and fix that real quick. For the cow. I think this is where I test if I fixed it or not. The cows and the cocoa bean trees. You don't need to shoot them. There's no espresso beans on this map. That's unfortunate. Got punched by a corpse. Yeah, no, literally though. That's what was happening. There's the espresso bean. That crosshair is so bad. I'm very good at shooter games, can you tell? There we go. Oh, the vanilla bean just shot me. No, 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 no. God. I wanted so badly to smash my desk. What? That espresso bean is really jumpy. Oh, really? Come on. That was totally a hit. I think the right thing to do in this situation would have been to make the hitboxes generous. Excuse you. The espresso bean just hit me. So it's ignoring what it's... this is me just testing the gameplay loop again, I think. We'll end the shift. Saved our money. Exit to main menu. Start new game. So our tips are 0, right? We end shift. It still hasn't saved our money. Because you hit start new game instead of load game, you nerd. Slot 1 is created. Man, I was really going through it at this point. Please don't. Oh, that didn't work at all. Okay, well. One coffee bean, one vanilla bean, one espresso bean, and one milk. Okay, so that's all working now. Okay, so the issue now is that the player is treating its total money as its tip jar. Which I'm so dead at this point. 211 megabytes. Not bad. Let's rename this folder to Cafe de Arms. Yep, set up the games page. Yeah. None bugs. Then exported the project. Made a page on itch.io and submitted it to the game jam with only... How much time was left? How much time was left? Alright. The game is now live. Let me make a post somewhere. kaijucon.bsky.social/cafe de arms without the fancy little apostrophe, if that's what that's called. Do I ever submit it to the game jam here? Here's the game jam. Ah, there you go. Submit your project. Why is it not letting me choose? Oh, I need to refresh the page, maybe. Yeah, you do, you nerd. You have no idea what you're doing. Submit your project. Cafe de Arms. There are no flashing lights. The muzzle flash is not bright enough to cause epilepsy, I don't think. Make sure to include the following things in your itch posting. How long is it roughly? Shoot. Yeah, I did not read the submission requirements. I had to edit the page. Well, look at the rules. So, edit game. One of the funny things that like Moss said before he even played the game was like he looked at the description. He goes, "Oh, technically the game can go on forever. Oh, that's interesting." It's like, sorry, man. It's still a small game, but yeah. Day shift. Yeah, the tutorialization of the controls was something I didn't even think about either. So like, the games page had to be the tutorial. Day shift controls. Thank God. So 5:36. We'll use that timestamp. How much time did I have left when I hit submit though? One hour and 30 minutes. Damn. What was that timestamp I said again? We did it. We did it, everyone. 5:35, 45, maybe? I punched my mic, but we did do it. We finished the 10-day game jam for VTuber Tiny Jam 2025. Thank God. I'm so happy in this clip. Look at some of these games and I crash for the night. I shouldn't have tried to force myself to play these games. I was not in that mental headspace to properly engage with these. Everyone who came to watch the stream. Yeah. I don't think Mossflower's VOD of the game jam is up anymore, unfortunately. So I can't really play clips of it during the editing process. I'll double check that later, but let's add some closing comments here. So, let's add a new section. We'll do results, and then we'll do closing. Results. So how did I do? Well, the game had a few problems. You know what, let's start with the positive. During the celebration stream, Mossflower did play the game. Had a lot of positive things to say about it. Complimented the different game modes, gameplay styles, the premise, the humorous animations. I know this is going to be one of those take my word at face value kinds of thing, but he did actually compliment all these things. And honestly, Mossflower is such a nice guy. Like, I haven't met him in person, obviously, but I've been tuning into like the celebration streams he does for the game jams, and I've watched a couple of his other side streams, and he's just a really positive person. The fact that he's always willing to like compliment even like small features in a game, because he understands what it takes to either implement them or what kind of learning goes into getting good at making those things. Like every game jam and every game that he talks about, he's always taken a positive attitude towards them. It's so nice. He's such a nice guy. Gameplay styles, premise, humorous animations, and the fact that the game had a save and load save load system. He also got a big laugh at a small bug in the day shift level. Where did I made a joke about it earlier. Where was it? I think it was day 7. An important aspect of the customer's functionality was to recognize when their order had all the right ingredients. To make this possible, I had the customer check what ingredients were in their cup, check if that ingredient was in their request, then offer a high or low tip based on the accuracy. Such a simple concept, utilizing Unreal Engine's flexible array system effectively, with no notable issues that will come to haunt me during Mouseflower's Game Jam celebration stream at the end of the event. Yep. Remember, how the customer is supposed to check their order for the ingredients in their original request, and how I said it had no flaws? Well, it did have small issue. When the customer is using the ingredient array to check if any of the ingredients match their order, it's only how do I explain this? When the customer is using the ingredient array to check if the drink matches their order, they're only checking if one ingredient exists in the array. For example, if the customer asked for an iced vanilla coffee, it would check the array 3 times to make sure that the drink had ice, coffee, ice, vanilla, and coffee. But it did not remove the checked ingredients from the array. This means that if the customer ordered ice, vanilla, and coffee, iced vanilla coffee, and you handed them a cup of ice, you technically I don't think I'm explaining this correctly. I'm checking if one ingredient exists in the array. If one ingredient matches their order. No. When the customer is using the ingredient array to check if the drink matches their order, they're just comparing the drink to their ingredient requirements. For example, if the customer asked for iced vanilla coffee, it would check 3 times to make sure that the drink had ice, vanilla, and coffee. But it did not remove the checked ingredients from the array. This means that if the customer ordered iced vanilla coffee and you handed them ice, you technically successfully iced vanilla or coffee. Iced vanilla coffee and hand them a cup of ice. successfully matched their order, since the array has at least one ingredient the customer asked for. Meaning, you can completely ignore the ingredient inventory management the game was built around in order to game the system and earn money with no effort. I don't even think I talked about that money was supposed to be used to buy more ammo. There are 2 shifts the player must work at this coffee shop. Then the day shift, the player will use their finite ingredients, serve customer to customers, and earn money. This will control like a typical 2D job simulator where the player controls their actions through the UI instead of directly controlling their character. This money will be used to buy ammo for the night shifts. We can get rid of that. During the night shift, the player will use a magic gun to hunt monsters that drop coffee ingredients that can be carried over to the day shift. This will use a more traditional third-person shooter control so that the player can hunt monsters freely. Money made during the day shift can be used to upgrade the magic gun to increase magic gun's ammo capacity. So we can actually undo this. Increase the amount of hunting, collect ingredients. Easier. Okay, yeah. Cool. No effort. Imagine my face when Mossflower discovered this bug and made hundreds of dollars selling ice cups to customers. And since ice is an infinite resource, comma, you can completely ignore the ingredient inventory management the game was built around in order to game the system and earn money with no effort. It was a bit crushing, to be honest, but he was having fun with my game. Laughing so hard and having fun with my game. So I took that badge and stuck it to my shirt. The game was ultimately a successful, if buggy, prototype that had its own fun. And that's what matters. And then conclusion. After the game jam, I put out a small patch to the game that fixed the minor bugs that I could find and added a time limit to each shift. This change was made to encourage the player to play quickly and efficiently. But the game is still a basic prototype. Yeah, prototype. If you'd like to play Cafe d'Armes, either the original Game Jam version or the patched version, the game is available on itch.io via the link below. Feel free to check it out. Let me know what you think. Got a few more games on my page that I'll be talking about in the future, and there are even more projects coming down the pipeline. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I should not say that. I'm talking about in the future. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe button so you'll be able to catch the next game project summary. Let's not do that. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Feel free to... I'll do a call to action here, why not? So drop a like. Comment on. How about drop a like. Subscribe. Maybe even tell me about other game jams, or yeah, other game development things you'd like to share. In the meantime, I've got more game development. I've got more projects to run to, so I'm gonna close the shop for now. Have a good evening. Enjoy your coffee. And I'll catch you on the next business day. No, not business day. Next shift. Yep, and then I'll need to make one, but we'll play an outro here. Cool. Alright. Big stretch. Alright, let's read through the script, make any necessary changes, and then from here, we'll end the stream, and I'll start working on the video this weekend. So, I'll try and read this as if I'm actually doing this. Hi, I'm Kaijucon, a VTuber and aspiring game developer. I've been studying game development as a hobby for almost a year now. So, when I heard Mossflower was hosting a game jam called VTuber Oh my god, that's a long sentence. So, when I heard Mossflower was hosting a game jam called VTuber Tiny Game Jam 2025, I thought it was a great opportunity to challenge myself and make a fully realized project within a tight deadline. 2 weeks before the jam started, I signed myself up and began planning out what I'll do for the event. For those who don't know what a game jam is, it's an event where real people sacrifice their livelihood to develop games to suffocating deadlines. You lose sleep, eat worse, and survive on caffeine. It's an amazing experience. Highly recommended. For Mossflower's event, the deadline was 10 days, which should be considered generous by most game jam standards. The only issue I was facing was that I have a full-time job, so the extended time frame really only allowed me to work for a couple hours a day on weekdays. That was alright though, I figured, because I have the weekends. Surely my growing knowledge in game development at that time would make this project viable. Right? I'm not an ideas guy. I love iterating on other people's concepts because they offer a strong foundation for realizing further concepts or mechanics. That sounds terrible. I love iterating on other people's concepts because they offer a strong foundation for about advancing the ideas or mechanics. There we go. That sounds a little better because we're not using concept twice in that sentence. So I turned to my good friend Joe Dog and asked him for a game idea. That was when he told me to make a coffee shop game where you hunt monsters for ingredients. We wrote up a design document with all the ideas swirling in our heads based on that premise. Here's the basic concept. We wrote up the design document with all the ideas swirling in our heads based on that premise. How about we just say, we wrote up a design document. How about just, we wrote up, hunt monsters for ingredients. Here's the basic concept as outlined. Just basic concept. There are 2 shifts the player must work at this coffee shop. During the day shift, the player will use their finite ingredients to serve coffee to customers and earn money. This will control like a typical 2D job simulator, where the player controls their actions through the UI instead of directly controlling their character. During the night shift, the player will use a magic gun to hunt monsters that drop coffee ingredients that can be carried over to the day shift. This will use more traditional third-person shooter controls so that the player can hunt monsters freely. Money made during the day shift can be used to increase the magic gun's ammo capacity to make hunting and collecting more ingredients easier. With the premise and basic design of the game established, I went live on stream to showcase the development project for my game. How about the development process, nerd? There we go. Day 1. I started by opening a blank project in Unreal Engine 4 and started implementing the basic character movement systems for the night shift. Then I used a mannequin model to prototype the weapon mechanics that I totally didn't mimic from my 8-hour game jam project. That's when I realized I hadn't drawn any concept art for what the game would look like. So I cracked open Krita and started drawing out the day shift gameplay style. With that done, I was able to start designing the day shift coffee machine UI. This would work by having 7 buttons for dispensing ingredients into the customer's cup. The cup would only hold 3 ingredients, so that the recipes could remain simple. I did start to prototype the enemy AI for the night shift, but ultimately ran out of time for the day, so I added an implementation log to our Google Doc for the game jam and noted the successes for the day. That is such a long sentence. I did start to prototype the enemy AI for the night shift, but ultimately ran out of time for the day. Period. So I added an implementation log to our Google Doc. How about just to our design document, and noted the successes for the day. Day 2. Because the day shift and night shift gameplay modes were separated into different levels, I figured it would be important to implement a save system. This will force the game to save our ingredient counts between levels so that the coffee shop can rely on the player's income of ingredients. Oh my god. So that the coffee shop can rely on the ingredients and maintain the suffering from losing ingredients for each customer served. There's got to be a better way to word that sentence. This will allow the game to save our ingredient counts between levels to reinforce the inventory management aspect of the game. Inventory management mechanics. There we go. Once that was set up, I went back to continue iterating on the enemy AI for the night shift. Now the AI is simple, extremely simple. If they see you, they attack you. If you kill them, they ragdoll. Ta-da! With that done, I worked on adding the pickups the monsters will drop for the ingredients. This is also a simple blueprint. When it spawns, the AI will tell the item what the ingredient is. When the player steps over the item, it will tell the player what the ingredient they now have, plus one of. I then slapped together a game over screen for the night shift, which will recap how many ingredients the player picked up as they worked through the shift. How about how many ingredients they picked up, period. We don't need to complicate that. There's even a button to return to the day shift. This screen will spawn when the player is out of ammo or killed. I started programming the coffee machine when I realized there was an issue with the buttons. You couldn't tell what ingredient they were for. So I went into Krita and started drawing the ingredients based on the real-world counterparts. I then exported the drawings to make them icons for the buttons. How about exported the drawings as icons for the buttons? Surely the coffee bean and espresso bean icons looking slightly similar won't be a cause for confusion in the future. With that taken care of, I added functionality to the coffee machine UI, making the buttons print strings stating that what they were to test them out. I even added colored boxes to represent the ingredients poured into the customer's cup. That's 2 days down, and all we've got are placeholder assets, a coffee machine that lists the ingredient when pressed and adds to the customer cup. Not a whole lot, but maybe we'll get more done the next day. I broke up day 3's stream into 2 sessions, one morning session and one evening session. For the first session, I started out by fleshing out the coffee machine UI's mechanics. Firstly, to make sure the ingredients were being depleted when making the coffee, but also to make sure that the cup would properly track what ingredients were inside so the customer could validate it later. I also totally didn't open Blender to 3D model a cup that would not be used in the final version of the game. Hold on, okay. I also didn't try to make the color of the liquid in the cup dynamic based on the ingredients used by the player in Unreal Engine. That would be a colossal waste of time, wouldn't it? For session 2, I opened up Blender and made our coffee machine, which served as my introduction to the world of normals. When I imported the coffee machine into Unreal Engine, the nozzle was partially invisible. This was because the normals, or the direction the model's faces are oriented. Oh, I misread that. This was because the normals, or the direction the model's faces were oriented, was incorrect. If done correctly, all sides of the model should be visible. If done correctly, all sides of the model that should be visible are visible. If done incorrectly, parts of the model will be invisible during rendering. Luckily, this is a simple fix through Blender's tools, but it was a lesson learned for future projects and models. I capped off the session by designing the magic gun that will be used by the player. Look at that. Call me John Browning because I am clearly a master of weapon design. Day 4 was mostly spent modeling and rigging assets for the game. I started with a tip jar, the magic gun, and then I started working on the enemies. When preparing for the project, Joe Dog and I didn't even take the time to consider how the monsters would be designed, so I gave up and made the raw ingredients the monsters themselves. So I modeled and animated a hostile coffee bean and vanilla bean worm. I did not animate any of these. I modeled a hostile coffee bean and vanilla bean worm. More enemies were to come, but for day 4, that was all I had time for. Another Blender 3D modeling day. Rapid fire. Modeled the coffee shop, tables, chairs, front counter, and cocoa bean trees. Not bad for 2 hours. Finished up most of the 3D modeling at the start of this day. We made a cocoa bean and a cow. Wait a minute. I then imported all these assets into Unreal Engine and made sure their materials were rendering properly. Remember the AI we made on day 2 for night shift? Well, toss it out the window because we have a new AI with no noticeable flaws. I also made a new AI for the day shift customers to make sure they work properly. I assigned them an appropriate model for visual representation. An important aspect of the customer's functionality was to recognize when their order had all the right ingredients. To make this possible, I had the customer check what ingredients were in their cup, check if that ingredient was in their request, and then offer a high or low tip based on the accuracy. Such a simple concept, utilizing Unreal Engine's flexible array system effectively, with no notable issues that will come to haunt me during Mossflower's Game Jam celebration stream at the end of the event. Once that was set up, I added the coffee shop building to the day shift level and added lights inside. I also tried to make the coffee machine UI exist on the face of the physical coffee machine, but I couldn't get it to work, so that feature was dropped. Instead, I reworked the coffee shop UI to be fixed on the player's right-hand view, with a count of the ingredients on the buttons. This image captures my skill level at the time of this jam. It's beautiful. Day 8. When dealing with customers with specific demands for their orders, it'd be great if they had a way to communicate those demands, right? So I gave them a comic book style speech bubble with the 3 ingredients they will need for their order. The first 2 ingredients are randomized by the customer, but since it's all coffee, coffee is always the final word. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. The customers now also spawn outside the shop before running inside to shout their order at the player. Just like real life. We're almost done with the game jam, but the night shift level does not exist. Our magic gun doesn't even work. So I took the day to get all of that taken care of, starting with making the magic gun an actual functional weapon. But not before I took a little bit of time to polish up the interactions between the customer AI and the player. Oh, that took 2 hours. That's okay though, because I did a follow-up stream after a quick meal break. Enemies were the first priority. I started by making the coffee bean and espresso bean enemies. These guys are pretty much zombies. Once they see the player, they make a beeline to them to deal damage in melee range. The only difference between the two are size and speed, the espresso bean obviously being the smaller and faster of the two. The next enemy type is the vanilla bean. It moves like a snake and shoots a projectile like... not a snake. It also tries to keep its distance from the player. For a friendly NPC, I added the cow. You can kill the cow for a bottle of milk, or use the interact key to harvest even more milk. The choice is always nice. Excuse me. From there, I added the cocoa bean tree. When the player hits the interact key while facing these plants, they will receive a cocoa bean. The player can even see how many cocoa beans are on the tree's branches as they pick them. Pretty neat. Having all these elements are nice, but they need an environment to exist in. So I used Unreal Engine's landscaping tools to make a small enclosed natural space for the player and the NPCs to exist in. I scattered the trees across the landscape to give it a little more of a foresty vibe. Maybe I should say I also. There we go. With most of that taken care of, I decided to work on a proper human model for the customers on day shift. One of the chatters in the stream, A1 Valor, took some time to walk me through his method of making human characters in Blender. You make a simple stick figure, you use the skin modifier to turn those 2D edges into 3D blocks, then use the subdivision modifier to round out those edges. Voila! You now have a 3D stick figure to work with. Let's change that to ta-da. I don't really say... voila. Day 10. When I started the stream for day 10, I had 7 hours left to work on and submit the game. That definitely put a massive weight on my shoulders, so I did my best to lock in. I added some fog and dimmed the environmental lighting to make the night shift level feel more like it's actually taking place at night. The cow needed a walking animation, so I jumped back into Blender to do that by hand. I took notes from Minecraft's high-quality cow animations to make something of similar appeal. The enemies all needed animations as well, so I made the vanilla beans slither and the coffee beans bounce. Only took a little bit of time for each model. Shout out to the vanilla bean for making me and chat uncomfortable. I didn't have confidence in my ability to animate the customers in time for the submission, so I exported the model to Mixamo, which automatically rigs your humanoid models so you can use the mocap animations in their vast library. In my case, I only used the idle rifle, and walk animations. With that done, I started making clothes for the humans so that each customer had a chance to look different. I even gave the player character a barista outfit matching my own. Since the night shift level was a third-person shooter, I think I made the right call. The HUD for the night shift was slapped together around this time as well, showing the player's health and ammo pool. I then pulled a gunshot sound from Snake's authentic gun sounds, link in the description, and added it to my gun. It's a bit loud, but since the magic gun is basically a railgun, I figured it was appropriate. Apologies to those who play with bass-boosted headphones. Since I was already working on the magic gun, I also tied the end of the night shift to it. If the player pulls the trigger while they have no ammo, the night shift will end. Better collect your loot before you pull that trigger again. I mean, the shift also ends if you die, but, you know, choose your own adventure or something. The main menu also got added around this time. Here, you can start a new game or load one from your save slot. Pretty neat. With all that settled, and my mental battery at an all-time low, I exported the project and found a rainforest of bugs. Some as small as the customer shirts not changing, to as big as the enemies dropping the wrong ingredients. So I spent even more time cleaning up all the notable bugs, then exported the project. I made a page on itch.io and submitted it to the game jam with only an hour and 30 minutes left. So how did I do? During the celebration stream, Mossflower did play the game and had a lot of positive things to say about it. He complimented the different gameplay styles, the premise, the humorous animations, and the fact that the game had a save load system. He also got a big laugh at a small bug in the day shift level. Remember how the customer is supposed to check their order for the ingredients in their original request, and how I said it had no flaws? Well, it did have a small issue. When the customer is using the ingredient array to check if the drink matches their order, they're just comparing the drink to their ingredient requirements. For example, if the customer asked for an iced vanilla coffee, it would check the array 3 times to make sure that the drink had ice, vanilla, or coffee. But it did not remove the checked ingredients from the array. This means that if the customer ordered iced vanilla coffee, and you handed them a cup of ice, you technically successfully match their order, since the array has at least one ingredient the customer asked for. And since ice is an infinite resource, you can completely ignore the ingredient inventory management the game was built around in order to game the system and earn money with no effort. So imagine my face when Mossflower discovered this bug and made hundreds of dollars selling ice cups to customers. It was a bit crushing, to be honest, but he was laughing so hard and having fun with my game, so I took that badge and stuck it to my shirt. The game was ultimately a successful, if buggy, prototype that had its own fun, and that's what matters. After the game jam, I put out a small patch to the game that fixed the minor bugs that I could find, and added a time limit to each shift. This change was made to encourage players to play quickly and efficiently, but the game is still a basic prototype. If you'd like to play Cat with the Arms, either the original Game Jam version or the patched version, the game is available on itch.io via the link below. Feel free to check it out and let me know what you think. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Feel free to drop a like, subscribe, and maybe even tell me about other game development things you'd like to share. In the meantime, I got more projects to run to, so I'm gonna close the shop for now. Have a good evening, enjoy your coffee, and I'll catch you on the next shift. If you'd like to play Cafe de Arms via the link below for free. Very important we say that. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're done with the script. So I'm going to go get something to eat, and then I'm going to start working on this video project. So that's going to be it for the stream today. So thanks everyone who tuned in. Look forward to the video. When it's finished, I'll make a post about it on Twitter and Bluesky, all my socials. It'll be on YouTube. So yeah. Take care of yourselves out there.